Hello and welcome to the Wing Chun Qigong channel. My name's Jordan Del Grand. Firstly, I want to apologize. I haven't posted in a while to all of those 9 subscribers. But you guys are the reason why I'll post. I've only just started and it's great to see people are interested. Um, I've been busy doing a lot of meditative work and integration of that type of work. Hence the title of this video. Uh, that integration is a expansion and contraction uh, type of meditation work that I've been doing. And I won't be honing in on that right now. Um, I think I want to look at how important the expansion contraction is in Wing Chun. Um, if you have a look at the Sunim Dao form, the section 1 of it, you'll notice that the hand comes out and the hand comes in, the hand goes up and the hand goes in. And so we have this expansion and contraction. If you watch a Tai Chi player, you'll notice that they expand out and they'll contract in and they'll expand out and contract as they dance around the floor. They themselves have the Tai Chi symbol that represents that. It represents a lot more. Um, and I have to say that I remember when I was training under a Sifu and I used the Tai Chi symbol for something because I cottoned on to this expansion contraction and the yin and the yang, and it made a lot of sense to me. But he was very disappointed because Wing Chun's Wing Chun, not Tai Chi. Um, I don't care too much about those things anymore. When I look at the in internals of things, I see a lot of similarity. I see a lot of sameness. I don't see a lot of differences. So too, when I look through and I look at Theravada and I look at Vajrayana and I look at Zen or I look at obviously there is a mass amount of cultural difference for sure, teaching difference most definitely, sutras versus shastras difference. Don't get me wrong, there's differences everywhere. That's life, but there's also an underlying sort of homogeneous sameness that sort of flows through them like a motif, like an undercurrent. And for me, when I look at these martial arts or even look at that aspect, I see that expansion contraction. You may not know this, but the Anapanasati technique, the technique that the Buddha taught to his son, is mm, an underlying theme of why Buddhism was so popular and made its way into China, since they already had Taoism. They didn't just accept anything. And then that went on to influence a lot of Qigong. So, the roots of Qigong go through thousands of years through China, but there's this influence that came in from Buddhism. That influence, both those influences, are deeply rooted inside of Wing Chun, and hence this video, that you should not overlook them, how important they are. There's a funny sort of relationship if you don't know what Qigong is or haven't experienced it, like me many, many years ago when I was seeking around for different things. If we just take the Buddhist technique of watching your breath, um, it begins quite physically, right? Because you're watching your body breathe. But as you continue watching, and I don't wish to spoil it because I don't want you clinging onto, oh, this should happen or I should expect this. The idea is you continue to watch, you continue to uh, wait. You don't seek, you don't expect, you just watch. And as that occurs naturally, Your body begins to relax. Obviously, you can have a lot of pain and aches come out and different things. Um, but you got to let them go. You got to keep releasing, relaxing, letting go, both mentally, thoughts, images, imaginations, sensations, feelings, emotions, all of the above. It's got to get, they got to get just let go. And so, you begin to move. You begin to move from something that was just physical. And what about all those other things I just mentioned there? Well, it's my big dog. Um, they become mental, right? So it's not the physical exercise anymore. It becomes more of a mental exercise. But the more you allow yourself to let go and learn what it means to still your mind, you begin to sense that the body is not as solid as you once thought it was. And it begins to go through this alchemical phase, and you begin to tap into the energetic side of it. In much the same light, the Sunim Dao is like that. Yeah. Um, but the Sunim Dao has different things. For example, if you're sitting in meditation, the the central channel, your Chongmei, is erect and it's open, and it's a balancing act of you sitting, right? Not a physical act. Sun Dao has the same thing, right? If you haven't figured that one out, you need to. And but you're moving your limbs. So that subtle energy that is used to balance the spine in a this what can be called a spiritual exercise of the Anapanasati. It too is used in the Sunim Dao, but it needs to be, in a sense, expanded out to the limbs because, um, you know, you're using them in your martial art. So there is this crossover between them, and if you never learnt one and you missed it in the other, but if you learnt one and you're trying to realize that integration, and then that's what it's about. You begin to expand it out that you can lead the chi to your limbs, and so with this, they also give you the inner workings of how you use your fascia and how you use your joints. Okay. I have to say immensely that, doing the Silnim Dao like that has made me a much better sitter. That's a word. In addition, by learning to sit and understand how to still my mind um, through the stillness of my body, has allowed me to have a much still mind when I move, when I do my qigong. And then through the movement of the qigong to tap into the flow of that energy and have those aha moments as you get deeper into it. It then, allowed me to sort of reflect back on how I'm simply standing in the Sunim Dao. And are these two things one or are they separate? And then you had to go through that integration phase. And then when you come back to sitting, you realize, so much energy I can produce when I do my qigong or when I learn to move my body and so forth. When I sit, am I am I using myself in the right way that I'm opening myself energetically, or am I closing down with my sitting? Um, I wouldn't have learnt those things like just period. I don't think unless I had someone who passed through before and was sitting right next to me all the time. But there's this beautiful circular effect where one influences the other and it becomes this sort of positive feedback loop. And that is the beauty of having Wing Chun integrated with your Qigong and not having them different things. So you see your Wing Chun as simply a type of Qigong. Um, And then you're learning to express your qigong discovery, because it's kind of a technique at first, and then it becomes a discovery, and then you can express it, and you then learn to express this. It's an expression through your body, and you're learning to express it through a martial art, and it's wonderful. Just such a wonderful thing. And that all occurs through the deeper realization of expansion and contraction. Excellent. That's all I wanted to chat about, and I hope you have a great weekend, and keep training.